Giving praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and peace and salutations to the 144,000, and to the scattered elect, shalom to you all. It's the brother Tawab Paryaf from the Providence, Rhode Island camp. Just going to tap in, do a quick lesson on Isaiah, the 10th chapter. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but I'm just going to skim through different pieces of it. And I woke up this morning, read this chapter, which it was a beautiful reminder to how the things that the man who or the people that are ruling over us is going to get judged. And quite frankly, the reason why this man or these people are ruling over us is really for our chastisement. And who are the people ruling over us? The Edomites. In modern day time, they call themselves white, they call themselves European, they call themselves Jewish. Shoot, and actually they take on the identity of everybody else besides themselves who they really are. But again, Isaiah the 10th chapter brought some beautiful insight on how these people are gonna get judged and what they really their main purpose on this earth is for. And in this chapter, contextually, historically speaking, this is referring to the Assyrians. The Assyrian Empire had subdued the northern kingdom, which was living in Samaria. They took them down. You could read Second Kings, the 17th chapter, to go into a little bit of that history. However, Isaiah was also touching upon the Assyrians bringing forth judgment to the children of Israel. And this chapter here, we're gonna start at verse 5, and I'm gonna read it in the New Living Translation. Lately, I've been reading in that translation because I like the little bit clearer insight as to what the author is saying. Not to say that the King James Version, Old English, is not good, but it could get hard to understand sometimes. So those who are reading, those who are listening, I hope that this is edifying. I hope that it's exhorting, and Lord willing, you increase in the spirit. So Isaiah the 10th chapter, the 5th verse says, "Oh, what sorrow awaits Assyria, the rod of my anger. I use it as a club to express my anger." All right, again, this is referring to the Assyrians contextually when they had brought forth their wrath upon the northern kingdom, which that wrath came, as we just read, from the Most High Yahweh. And the Assyrians were nothing but a tool that were being used for chastising the children of Israel, starting with the northern kingdom. And now, spiritually speaking, this is something that we apply. I say we, I'm talking about the Hebrew Israelites, the one in this truth that are in this faith. We apply this to Esau Edom, the one that's ruling over us here in America today. He is the modern day Assyrian. He's the modern day Pharaoh. He's the modern day, you know, he's the modern day king of Tyrus. But those are just spiritual names. Spiritual meaning um, divine, divine foresight. You see, there's a difference. There's a difference between the scholars, so-called scholars that read these words and go into the history and whatnot. But then there's the prophets of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that are able to receive the secrets, the revelation of these scriptures. All right, but verse 6, it says, "I am sending Assyria against a godless nation, against a people who I am angry with. Assyria will plunder them, trampling them like dirt beneath its feet." All right, and again, Most High Yahweh sent the Assyrians unto the northern kingdom, and it was for the idolatry that they were committing. And the northern kingdom, the nation of Israel as a whole, has been warned to put away their idolatry, to stop following after heathen gods and things like that. However, due to the rebelliousness, due to the stubbornness of the children of Israel, Yahweh had to bring forth judgment. So, continuing on in verse 7, It reads, it's like it's bear with me for a moment. Just parking the car. All right. All right. It reads, verse 7, but the king of Assyria will not understand that he is my tool. His mind does not work that way. His plan is simply to destroy, to cut down nation after nation. He will say, each of my princes will soon be a king. We destroyed Kauno just as we did Carchemish. Hamath fell before us as Arpad did, and we destroyed Samaria just as we did Damascus. Yes, we have finished off many a kingdom whose gods were greater than those in Jerusalem and Samaria. So we will defeat Jerusalem and her gods, just as we destroyed Samaria with hers. So this is the mindset behind the king of Assyria, which was filled with pride, was filled with pomp. All right, and so here in modern day time, applying this to the Edomites, they believe through their might in their, with their military, how they were able to conquer the world through their military, that they have the utmost strength. You know, this is the mindset of the heathens back then and the mindset of the heathens now. And they didn't believe that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was strong. You know, they believed the God of the God of the heathens was strong, because truthfully, the way that the nation of Israel were conducting themselves, it seemed as though that their own God just wasn't enough for them, since they had turned to other gods. You know, but I'm just gonna continue on, because this is gonna give some insight to the power of Yahweh and how He sends forth strong delusion to these heathen. It says, verse 12, after the Lord has used the king of Assyria to accomplish his purposes on Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, he will turn against the king of Assyria and punish him, for he is proud and arrogant. See that? So this is what's going to happen to the Edomites as well. The Edomites are going to get brought down. They're going to get brought to a lowest state and no longer have the power that they have now. Soon as that, soon as the warfare soon as the warfare against the children of Israel has been accomplished. You see, we were currently going through things that are according to our own disobedience. You know, so we have to be patient. We have to be patient and understand that this is ultimately for our own good. But our power will avenge us. It says in verse 13, He boasts, by my own powerful arm I have done this with my own shrewd wisdom I planned it. I have broken down the defenses of nations and carried off their treasures. I have knocked down their kings like a bull. I have robbed their nests of riches and gathered up kingdoms as a farmer gathers eggs. And no one can even flap a wing against me or utter a peep of protest. But can the axe boast greater power than the person who uses it? Is the saw greater than the person who saws? Can a rod strike unless a hand moves it? Therefore, the Lord of heaven's armies, or the Lord of hosts, will send a plague among Assyrian's proud troops, and a flaming fire will consume its glory. So, this is what the ultimate the ultimate result of the military of Esau Edom is gonna be. They're gonna be destroyed. In other words, they're gonna be destroyed and gonna be humbled. You see, so we have to continuously read these scriptures to remind ourselves that this captivity is gonna be so soon brought to an end, and the people that we witnessed conquer us, all right, destroy us, will be put to shame, and they will be proven wrong, because they think that they're not gonna be destroyed with the power that they have. They don't think they'll be destroyed, but our power, Yahweh Bashim Shah, is gonna make sure that he makes an example out of them. All right, verse 17, the Lord, the light of Israel, will be a fire, the Holy One will be a flame, and he will devour the thorns and briars with fire, burning up the enemy in a single night. So you can see the thorns and briars represent our enemies. You see, you can see how it said burning up. You're going to devour the thorns and briars with fire, and then it says even to give some expounding, burning up the enemy in a single night. And America's going to be destroyed, man. So just quite frankly, this is all done. This is all done for for our own good. We had to be taught a lesson as a nation. We had to be. However, I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. Verse 20. In that day, the remnant left in Israel, the survivors in the house of Jacob, will no longer depend on allies who seek to destroy them, but they will faithfully trust the Lord, the Holy One of Israel. All right, and that's what you see right now taking place in America. You have a small remnant returning unto the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, as the majority of the Israelites continue seeking after their enemy, to be an ally, and they constantly get let down. But all said and done, all said and done, there has to be a balance, and those that actually decide to follow the ways of the heathen, they're gonna get destroyed with the heathen. But those that follow the ways of Yahweh Shem Shah are gonna be redeemed by Yahweh Shem Shah. So I'm gonna cut it there. Lord willing, this was edifying. We give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shah, Shem Rakakwadash. Shalom.